In this video, we will discuss about development of male gametophyte in Pinus. Pinus is gymnosperm. In case of gymnosperm Pinus, male cones of Pinus, they produce microspores or pollen grains. We have already discussed in detail in one of the video. Link will be shared in the description box. Now microspore or pollen grain, in case of Pinus, they have wings, so they are winged structure. Wings will make them light. Now if we see their structure, this is the outermost covering called as exine. This is the inner covering called as intine. This is cytoplasm. This is nucleus. Because of wings, they become light in weight and carried by wind from one place to another place. This is called as anemophilous pollination. When pollen grains they carried by wind, this and they become light because of the wings. So this is called as anemophily or anemophilous pollination. Now if we see, this is a pollen grain, exine, intine, nucleus, cytoplasm and wings. And how does development take place? Now this is the pollen grain, this is its nucleus. And this will divide into two nuclei and wall will be produced. And first prothallus cell will be produced. This is first prothallus cell. Now this will again further divide into, this will divide into two nuclei and again wall will be produced. This will be the second prothallus cell. So first prothallus cell and second prothallus cell. Now this cell is called as enthridial cell. Now this enthridial cell will further divide into again two cells. Now this is like this is if we see here, this is the first prothallus, this is the second prothallus, and this nucleus will divide into two nuclei. This is generative cell and this is the tube nucleus. You can see here, this is the generative cell and this is the tube nucleus. Now this generative cell, tube nucleus and two prothallus cell. Now this has become 4-cell stage. Right? Two prothallus cells, one generative cell, and next is tube nucleus. So 4-cell stage. At this stage, pollen grains will be liberated and this is called as pollination. And now they will reach toward the ovule. Like we have discussed structure of ovule in one of the video. Now pollen grains will reach here and they start germinating, forming a pollen tube, right? So this is the outermost covering exine, this is the intine, right? So this will form pollen tube like this. Intine will protrude out in the form of a pollen tube, and at the 4-cell stage they will be liberated, they will then they will start germinating, and ultimately we can see here, this is the pollen tube being produced like this, and this pollen tube is also branched. Now two prothallus cells, they will start degenerating, I mean ख़त्म होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. और ये जो आपने देखा था यहाँ पर जनरेटिव सेल, now this will further again divide into two cells like this. This is stalk cell and this is the body cell. This will be stalk cell, this will be the body cell, and this will be the tube nucleus. Tube nucleus will migrate into the tube cell, pollen tube. Like this is the pollen grain and this has started forming a pollen tube. Now this will have tube nucleus, right? And here two prothallus cells, they will degenerate, then generative cell, and then this is the body cell. Now this body cell will further divide into two cells like this. This will form two male gametes, right? So when this pollen grain has fallen on the ovule, right, it will further penetrate and this will carry the two male gametes. Now here, this generative cell and body cell, right? This is the stalk cell, this is the body cell. Now body cell will further divide into two cells and they will develop into two male gametes. This will be the stalk cell and this will be the tube nucleus. So ultimately this pollen tube which has been produced and this has elongated like this, right? 1 minute, I have to rub it again because अच्छा नहीं बना है, तो I will make it again. So we can see here, this is the pollen tube. This will carry the two male gametes. Now this will be its tube nucleus. So ultimately this is the formation of the male gametes. So this is development of the male gametophyte. Now here, when this reaches here toward the female sex organ, so this can fuse with the egg cell and this will lead to the fertilization. So it's two gametes which are slightly unequal, male gametes, and they don't have even flagella. One is bigger and second is smaller, short lived, and they will just move like amoeba. They will show amoeboid movement, and when they reach the egg cell they will cause fertilization. That we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe.